Happy New Year. This is a hangover I certainly needed after finding out that Prokhorov has gone off to Las Vegas and worked with MGM Grand to go ahead and bring in a new expansion team out to Las Vegas. Now, the only question is, are they coming in 2017 or are they coming in 2018? So it's just a matter of which draft are they disrupting. Now, the new team, they finally settled. It's no longer going to be Virginia. It's actually going to be Baltimore. Still working a little bit on the design of their jerseys as I got some leaks, fortunately. And, yeah, it's not looking good. The only good news is that in the standings, we're right there still with the Boston Celtics down at the bottom, which means that we technically have a top 3 pick right now. So what we need to do is apply enough pressure on Boston to stay close with them in the standings, wherever they may be, and just hope that Boston is bad enough that they stay low. So winning games is still kind of important. Let's kick off this 2017 season right, why don't you say? So, first quarter here, Kilpatrick going to take the screen from Scola, steps outside, even with contact in his face. Nails the jumper, didn't get the foul though, Nets up 6-3. Good ball movement here now by the Nets as they kind of move outside, work their way to the perimeter. Lopez for some reason stepping out, but nails the 3. Lopez showing some range, haven't seen that from him all season. And now Bogdanovic showing his range, but misses there and immediately right up the floor. This would be the story of this game. Transition offense for the Jazz, or really just our poor transition defense. Again, another open jumper there for the Jazz, that time non-transition and a set as the Jazz tied it up. Later in that first, 13-12. Lopez showing more of that range. Biggs really showing out tonight for the Nets as Lopez gets another bucket there. And then Withy, rejected by Lopez, but they call goaltending. Absolutely disagree with that call. He went straight up with it and hadn't really let it go yet. How's that goaltending? But anyway, back later in the first, Hollis Jefferson getting the rebound, working hard inside. Been loving the fight that I've seen out of him thus far as well, even though he's no longer in our starting lineup. Jazz come back up the floor as Rodney Hood hit that 3, and then later in the first, Lopez again working, this time on the inside on Withy. Too easy there as he goes and lays it in for 2. But then in transition, again, poor defense by the Nets as they allow an easy pass. A little bit of a Hail Mary there, straight to that heart of the paint, and Hayward made the easy score. Exum on this possession here gets the lucky bounce and the roll for the 3 there. And then again, poor transition defense in the corner. Inglis hits that 3. And the Nets would go down that first quarter 30-23. Here 32-28 in the second as they're trying to cut into that lead. Scola working hard inside even though the deflected pass, it still got to him. Mike Miller there getting the rebound, our new acquisition, as Foy gets it inside to McCullough who slams it home. Again, Chris McCullough always showing those flashes. Does a really good job of using his athleticism to make sure that he attacks the rack. Corner there for Foy off the pass from Mike Miller. Drained, good. Brooklyn now up 1. Jazz moving the ball around here with Gordon Hayward on the outside, waiting to make his move. Gets it to Hood. Hood just steps back a little bit. Bang! Hits the 3 to go ahead and put the Jazz back up on top. Hayward again from the corner, just working it around. Good ball movement. Hayward just makes a small little move there on Bogdanovic. Not fast enough to keep up with Hayward as he goes in for the slam. Jazz now starting to pull away. Lead up now to 6, now up to 8 there on the layup by Derek Favors. And the Jazz starting to pull away. Game now up by 10 here in the closing seconds of the second quarter. Another triple. Yet another triple. A poor job defending the perimeter. We go into the third now. Jazz now up 11. George Hill. Bang. Another 3 as he came off the screen there and drained it. Now Jazz up by 9 or 11, I apologize. McCullough just getting a little too aggressive there. Defense breaks down. Another corner 3. The Jazz just working the 3 ball tonight, getting everything that they want. Closing seconds of the third now as they're up by 13. Working it inside now. Another goaltending call And apparently Withy could just get any call that he wanted that night, and the Jazz went on to beat us as it didn't get much better, 135 to 109. Here's the thing that's frustrating. I need to generate money. You can even look behind here. Seats are empty. People are leaving early from games. The only person who's making me any positive on the revenue is Jeremy Lin. It's why I can't move him. And why would I? Right now, he's currently one of the contenders for Most Improved Player of the Year. So we look to the draft. The Celtics are still doing poorly enough where we're actually looking like we're a top 3 pick, and someone like Markelle Fultz is actually a reality. Wasn't really expecting that. So I decided to go ahead and take a quick trip out to Washington to go ahead and take a look at this kid. They played St. Mary's, and my, did he rip them a new one before they started their conference play and hopefully take on Lonzo Ball at some point. And still the undefeated Bruins. They've been on quite a run this season. Markelle Fultz, the only problem, however, is a point guard. I don't really think I can just go in and throw him on top of Jeremy Lin, but then again, do I really want Jeremy Lin at the end of this? Would Markelle Fultz be enough excitement that Nets fans would excuse us getting rid of Lin? So back home to Brooklyn I came to go ahead and watch the Nets play the 76ers. No brotherly love in this matchup. We're rivals. We hate them just as much as we hate the Celtics, who actually are a team that we need to put some more pressure on. There's no reason for them to really lose games. They would want to still win as much as possible, so we still have to keep some amount of pressure on them throughout the season and pick up some W's. Game kicked off, Jeremy Lin immediately attacking the basket and getting it inside to Lopez for the flush. Easy two there. Lopez showing his numbers there for you. Been very efficient all season, especially inside. Kilpatrick takes the screen there, takes a second to look. Saw he was open enough, popped the two there in front of Timothy Uwalu. And then Jeremy Lin, little fake pass there, pump fake there, waiting to make a move. Finally makes his pass inside the Scola, easy layup there. Nets getting some great ball movement there to go up 6-2. Game tied now. Kilpatrick, step back there. Pump fake there by Scola, inside to Lopez. Lopez and one on the play. Nets showing some good play thus far early in the first. Now, midway through the first, 15-10. Look at that, Nerlens Noel. The Sixers would be without Jahlil Okafor tonight, as Noel gets the N1 there to try to close the gap here. Sixers down 5 midway through the first, 17-12. Simmons making his way, moving past Bogdanovic, but gets rejected there by Trevor Booker. Lin back the other way, passes it, gives it back to Booker, who finishes there on the layup to go ahead and put the Nets up by 7. Great move there. Later, still up 7. Now this Randy Foye driving. Randy Foye has been great off the bench lately. Been loving the production I've gotten out of him as he goes and gets the N1 there. Now Nets up 8, 24-16. Driving inside. Trevor Booker off the dish by Chris McCullough to go ahead and put us into a double-digit lead. And then Randy Foye missing there, but look at Trevor Booker there to go ahead and slam that one back home. Good effort by Trevor Booker that quarter to go ahead and give the Nets a nice little cushion and lead. Nets up 11 in the second. Jeremy Lin with that little post-up move there. Little hop step to give him a little bit of room and banks it off the glass to go ahead and put that one home. Nets still up by double digits here. Good defense there by Chris McCullough. Every time he's on the floor, love the effort that he puts out there. Kilpatrick, quick pass inside. Mike Miller on the layup in transition. Good transition offense from the Nets this game. They did very well in transition defense as well. Nets still up by 12 as McConnell takes the 3 there and misses. Up the floor again to Randy Foye, dish inside. Chris McCullough on the flush. Keeping that lead nice and safe does Chris McCullough there on the slam. Towards the end of the second, McConnell again gonna take another jumper there and misses. They try to put it back in, miss there. And again, straight up the floor as they get up there. Kilpatrick towards the end of the second, getting there before the buzzer to make sure that the Nets continue to expand that lead. Now Nets up 11 in the third. Good feed inside to Bogdanovic. He lays it up and in there. Keeping that pressure on Philly as they're up by 12. Lead at 11 towards the end of the third. Good feed inside by Bogdanovich on the good give and go to McCullough as he lays it up inside. I apologize, that's Mike Miller on the give and go. And then closing seconds of the third. Jeremy Lin shaking and baking on McConnell. Lays it up inside. 12-point game. Nets still keeping that pressure on late in the fourth. 105-91. Jeremy Lin, little crossover move, hop step, taking his time. Can't get it on the first one, gets his own rebound, lays it back up and in. Nets win this one 114-97. Nice to see them actually get a win at a game that was present at. Jeez. Good work by this entire team. Jeremy Lin, absolute star tonight. 33.7 rebounds, 10 assists, damn near triple-double tonight. Still showing why he is one of the candidates for most improved. He's certainly shown his moxie this entire season. So I took some time off for a few weeks to go ahead and hang out with the scouts and watch some international games, watch some college games, go ahead and see the world a little bit. And out of all the college games and everything that we saw, the one that absolutely stood out to me was during the time that the Nets were up in Toronto. We actually stopped by the Air Canada Center to go watch an under-19 game. It was Canada versus Sweden. We were supposed to go see this Henrik Nojewicz kid. And they just wanted me to take a look at him. He's got a lot of potential, a little bit raw right now, but he wasn't the guy I was impressed with. There's this Canadian high schooler who's about to turn 17 named Tyshawn Linhart, who absolutely stole the show. He is an incredible high flyer and has great athleticism whenever he's attacking the basket. I mean, it was just a highlight reel. He dropped 55 on the Swedish team. I mean, it's Sweden, but still, I mean, 55 points? That's highly impressive. Not sure when he's going to come out. Is it 2018, 2019? Still no reports yet. He hasn't given any indication. Next year is his senior year in high school, but rules are a little bit different because he's international. He didn't play in America. So we'll have to kind of keep an eye on that and see, because if he's coming out in 2018, he's on my list. They kind of projected him right now at like a top 10, maybe a top 15. If he can drop down that far, that may be a guy that I jump for. That's the kind of guy that I want playing shooting guard, somebody who can cause some excitement. Linhart is the kind of guy that can definitely draw and bring me in money and bring me in revenue. Even if we, in a state where we're not winning games like we are right now, this is the sort of guy that I want on this team. But I had to get back at some point to this team, and I waited until the end of January because there was one game in particular I wanted to see. Us up against the Cleveland Cavaliers at their own place. They thrashed us on Christmas Day. I think it's time we maybe get a little bit of revenge if we can hang with them. First quarter, Jeremy Lin, nice little give and go there by Brook Lopez to get him inside and score the first points of the game. Jeremy Lin pass it into Bogdanovich there as he came off the screen and drained the three there. Poor passing here as we're up 7-5. Iman Shumpert coming down the floor, gives it to Irving. Irving gives it back, and again, really having trouble with that perimeter defense with three-pointers. It's driving me nuts this year. But we're still maintaining the lead. Until there when King James takes a step back three on Bogdanovich. I didn't think that was necessary at all. They go ahead and score there, but Bogdanovich would make sure he gets his revenge. Screen there from Kilpatrick to get him open, and he drains his second three of the game. Working the outside again. This time, Brook Lopez. Again, Brook Lopez just kind of out of nowhere becoming a three-point machine for us as he drains one there. James inside on Trevor Booker, who sends that one packing, rejects that one, back up the floor. Hollis Jefferson inside to McCullough to go ahead and get the flush there. That would put us up by 6. And there, again, poor defense by the Nets on the perimeter, but fortunately they get a miss here. Up the floor they go. McCullough inside, finds his way there, and one. And he'd make the free throw as well as Chris McCullough would put the Nets up by 9. Later in that first quarter, towards the end, another huge rejection by Chris McCullough, showing off that athleticism. Randy Foye would take advantage and miss the three here, but then again, Trevor Booker gets the rebound. Foye kicks it out to Miller, hits that three over on the left side. Nets up by 10. Miller, let's do it again. Bang, three-pointer. Nets now up 11. And then it all went downhill a little bit here. Charlie Fry, or I should say Channing Fry, they both played for Cleveland. It's easy to get them confused. We'll go ahead and get the and one there. Cutting that lead down to 7, now lead down to 5, and Brook Lopez will go ahead and protect that paint here early in the second quarter. Gets the feed right back there from Lynn to go ahead and pay him off. So Nets trying to expand that lead back. This time now up 6, 42 to 36. Three ball again by Lopez. Just like I said, out of nowhere, he's just all of a sudden deciding to hang out around the perimeter and hit threes. Speaking of hanging around the perimeter, Amon Shumpert there from the corner, cutting that lead back down to 6. Cleveland fighting hard in this game as Lopez works inside there. Little give to Bogdanovich as he cleared a little lane for him to go ahead and lay that one up. Later, Nets up by 5. Good feed to Kilpatrick to slam that one home by Jeremy Lin. Awesome job there to get people open. And again, Cleveland really resting on shooting those threes, but they're missing them at times, which is giving the Nets a chance. It's Kilpatrick here. Gonna size up his man. Shoot the triple. He makes it on his end of the floor to go ahead and put the Nets up by 10. Jeremy Lin. Feed to Chris McCullough. Chris McCullough getting in on the action as he hits a corner three of his own. Nets still up 10 here. Chris McCullough. He's not sure what he's doing there. Took his time and still drains it. 2 threes for Chris McCullough in the second. Nets getting everything they want here. Loving it. Chris McCullough. Turn around from the post. Chris McCullough never ceases to amaze me. Block here by Chris McCullough. Are you enjoying your Chris McCullough highlights? Because boy do I. They get me excited. Love this kid. He's going to stay here for a long time. Hopefully he can be somewhat like our next Kenyon Martin. Very athletic. Anyway, Cleveland now up by 8 here. 3 ball by Dunleavy to go ahead and start narrowing that gap. Now Nets only up by 5. Turnover here on the pass by Foy. And just poor defense there by McCullough. He was right in front of it, just didn't pick it off. Tristan Thompson lays that one up. Nets up 67-64 going into halftime. Don't know what was going on here. Did you see that? My man did not dunk that. He did. I watched. I saw all of it. Why is he so impressed? I was just kind of befuddled by that. Hopefully Cleveland spoils their opportunities the same way they spoiled their dunk as we get here in the third. Jeremy Lin off the inbound play takes a quick fade jumper there. Makes it to go ahead and put the Nets up. Nets now up 3. Now it's Kilpatrick getting aggressive, attacking inside. It really looks like things are coming together now for this Nets team, and I love their play. Lopez there on the block there on Tristan Thompson. Back up the floor the other way. Jeremy Lin attacking the basket. Hop step, layup inside. Finishing hard at the hole there. Nets up by 3. Later, Nets up 1. Kyrie Irving dishes out. Kevin Love to finally put the Cavaliers up for the first time in this game. 83-81 midway through the third. We have a fight on our hands in this one as we call timeout. Again, Lopez denying the inside. Foy coming back up the other way in transition, and Trevor Booker slams that one home on King James. What a poster there by Trevor Booker. Inside this time off the feed from Randy Foy. Inside to Lopez to go ahead and give the Nets the lead back. Nets lit up by 5 later. Energized by that Booker dunk, man. Booker outside. Shoots on James. No trouble at all. Showing all the confidence in the world. Nets up 5 later on. Lin inside. Booker beats James yet again to get the jam on the inside. Booker having a field day on LeBron here in the third. Irving going ahead to shooting there early in the fourth as the Nets are still up by 4. Kilpatrick driving. Little shake and bake there. Step back. Gonna pass. Kicks it out. Hits the 3 there. That's Luis Scola in the corner. Nets up 6. But Cleveland is not standing down. Kevin Love hitting the wide open 3 there, and then just poor execution here. Kyrie Irving picks that one off. Storms back up the floor to narrow that gap down to 1 point. It's Cleveland looking to take control again. LeBron found Kyrie wide open. Easy triple there as Cleveland's now up 2. Later, Cleveland up 1. Inside feed, Jeremy Lin hangs in there and gets the lucky roll and 1. Foul on Kyrie, he would make the bucket. And then here, Cleveland returns the favor up the floor as we're late in the 4th. Iman Shumpert that time fighting his way inside, and we put the Cavs up by 1. Later, Cavs still up 1. Little give there to Luis Scola, hits the top of the arc jumper to nail the 2 there. Nets still up 1 later on, and corner 3 by Iman Shumpert. Cleveland has just been hitting their threes, and that's what's been keeping them alive this whole game as they're now up by 2 later on. Kevin Love again. That looked like the dagger there as they went up 3, but the Nets still hung in there fighting. Luis Scola on the layup there to go ahead and close that gap by 1. Next possession, Cleveland would miss on theirs. Inside to Bogdanovic, who slammed it home. An easy lane there. Didn't get fast enough there on defense by Love and LeBron as Luis Scola fed it inside to him. Kyrie Irving missing the 3 there with 47 seconds to go. So it seemed like this would be possibly the defining moment here for the Nets in this game. Kilpatrick up by the baseline, waiting to make his move. Off the screen by Bogdanovic. Lin, dagger. 128-124 to put the Nets up with 31 seconds to go. Look at Lin get hyped. That would be enough to give the Nets the win. 134-128. A nice present for me as Jeremy Lin, absolutely deserved player of the game. Phenomenal through this one. So was Booker, so was McCullough, so was Lopez, so was Bogdanovic, so was Miller. The whole team, this whole game, was absolutely phenomenal, hanging with the Cavaliers despite some poor perimeter defense and not being able to really stop the 3 ball. They hung in there, they fought. That's Brooklyn grit. That's all I want from this team. And we finished out the month at a record of 7-9. 7 wins this year. Or this month, I should say. This is a good team. This is a team that, well, okay, maybe it's not a good team, but this is a team that has the potential to be good. That move to get rid of Bennett and get Mike Miller in has started to show me a little bit of something here. If we can get perimeter guys who can hit their shots from the corner or from the arc, and have an athletic guy inside like Chris McCullough, and someone who is the anchor like Brook Lopez, and we just get the right draft picks in place here, this may be a team that can turn around a lot sooner than I think they should, or at least I think they first could have. I don't think we're that far off. I'm not afraid of these 2 new teams coming in. You know what? Bring on Baltimore. Bring on Las Vegas. We'll be sure to get there before you do.